For the American administration of Donald Trump, the conflict in Iran meant sustained military operations, a constant naval presence in the region, and internal political strain that accumulated as the weeks went by. Given this situation, the parties reached a preliminary understanding in recent days. A memorandum of understanding established a 60-day ceasefire, the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, and the start of broader negotiations, including nuclear issues in exchange for gradual economic relief for Iran. The agreement provided for the release of frozen assets, the lifting of initial sanctions, and the cessation of hostilities also in Lebanon, where Israel is conducting operations against Hezbollah. On June 21st, negotiations advanced in Bergstock at the beautiful and luxurious resort in the mountains near Lucerne, Switzerland. The American delegation was led by Vice President Dave Vance, with the presence of Jared Kushner and Witkoff. On the Iranian side, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and other officials participated, with mediation from Pakistan and Qatar. The meeting was quadrilateral, with no official joint photo. Araghchi greeted the Prime Minister, Pakistani, but he kept his distance from the American Vice President, even refusing the Pakistani Prime Minister's invitation to greet the American. Helicopters flew over the area during the talks amid tensions and insecurity. The most difficult topics revolved around the practical implementation of the memorandum. Iran conditioned any progress on nuclear issues to the effective end of the fighting in Lebanon and the concrete delivery of the promised economic benefits. Jade Vance acknowledged that the situation in Lebanon was always somewhat confusing, but highlighted progress toward ending the hostilities. The Iranian side emphasized that the first step should be the restoration of access to frozen assets and the easing of sanctions. There was no in-depth discussion about the Iranian nuclear program in this round, and Iran even denied that its nuclear program was under negotiation. In summary, the negotiations were cautious with limited progress, focusing on implementing what had already been agreed upon without significant moves toward more sensitive issues. And even after the talks in Switzerland, and with future meetings underway, Iranian authorities announced that the Strait of Hormuz would once again be closed to free vessel traffic. The official justification was the clashes and instability in southern Lebanon and the alleged American failure to ensure full compliance with the ceasefire. The Iranian news agency Fars, citing military sources, reported that new crossing permits would not be issued until further notice. Shipping companies began to consider the route risky without explicit Iranian authorization. The United States immediately disputed the Iranian claim. The American Central Command stated that Iran does not control the strait, that traffic was continuing, and that American forces were monitoring the situation to ensure free navigation. Maritime tracking data showed a drop in the number of transits right after the announcement, although the volume did not reach zero. If you want access to full analyses, with exclusive content like videos, shorts, and live streams that are not released publicly, become a channel member for just $7 per month. On Sunday, President Donald Trump publicly stated that he had warned Iranian officials that closing the strait would mean Iran would no longer have a country. He also threatened further military action if hostilities in Lebanon did not cease. While Trump was warning Iran, even asking the regime to stop financial support to groups and proxies, there was an increase in American air activity in the Persian Gulf region and the Strait of Hormuz. Patrol and surveillance planes conducted flyovers, reinforcing the presence and constant monitoring by American forces. This movement happened in parallel with Trump's statements and the dispute over the real status of the strait. Hormuz is about 33 kilometers wide, at its narrowest point, with defined routes and navigation. Iran still has significant asymmetric capabilities, such as naval mines, short and medium-range anti-ship missiles, fast boats from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and drones. These tools have already been used in previous episodes of the conflict to threaten or target vessels. However, the United States maintains air and naval superiority in the region, with aircraft carriers, destroyers equipped with anti-missile defense systems, aircraft and patrols, and escort or rapid response capability, which remain on alert and ready for any offensive or defensive action. Any attempt to mine or physically block the strait would face an immediate American response, capable of clearing routes and protecting commercial traffic. Recent history shows a pattern. After the war began in February, Iran closed the strait for months, creating the biggest crisis in global energy supply since previous crises. The mid-June agreement allowed a partial resumption of traffic, with ships resuming transit and oil prices retreating. The new Iranian declaration of closure, even without confirmed direct attacks on vessels, in this round caused immediate uncertainty among ship owners and marine insurers. Iran now orders all ships to fill out the form for Iranian maritime authorities to authorize maritime traffic. The negotiations in Switzerland revealed the structural difficulties. Iran seeks concrete guarantees of economic relief before moving forward with nuclear concessions. The United States, in turn, demands compliance with the ceasefire on all fronts, including in Lebanon, as well as stability in navigation. To get full access to this video, do like our members. Just become an exclusive channel member for only 7 Rs and $90 $7.99 per month. Just click the Become a Member button. Leave your comment below with your opinion about what might happen in the next few days, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the latest updates.